Today's Bible English: orange, bold, dawn, declare, discover, drowsy, elder, encourage, flicker, gather, meanwhile, observe, pass over, Pentecost, preach, province, relieve, suffer, and finished my word test. Act 20, verse 2. Along the way, he increased the believers in all the towns he passed through. Then he traveled on to Greece, where he stayed for 3 months. He was preparing to sail back to Syria when he discovered a plot by some Jew against his life, so he decided to return. Through Macedonia, several men were traveling with him. They were Soper of the Berea, the son of the Privhus, Assyria, Tus and Scotus from Thessalonica, Gaius from Derbe, Timothy and Tychicus and Trophimus, who were from the province of Asia. They went ahead and waited for us at Troas. As soon as the Passover season ended, we boarded a ship at the Philippi in Macedonia, and 5 days later arrived in Troas, where we stayed a week. First final visit to Troas. On the first day of the week, we gathered to observe the Lord's Supper. Paul was preaching, and since he was leaving the next day, he talked until midnight. The upstairs room where we met at lighted with many flickering lamps. As Paul spoke on and on, a young man named Eutychus, sitting on the window sill, became very drowsy. Finally, he sank into a deep sleep, and fell 3 stories to his death below. Paul went down, bent over him, and took him into his arms. "Don't worry," he said, "he's alive." Then they all went back upstairs and ate the Lord's Supper together, and Paul continued talking to them until dawn. Then he left. Meanwhile, the young man was taken home unhurt, and everyone was greatly relieved. Paul met the Ephesians elders. Paul went by. They ran to Assos, where he had arranged for us to join him, and we went on ahead by ship. He joined us there, and we sailed together to Mytilene. The next day, we passed the island of the Chios. The following day, we crossed to the island of Samos, and a day later, we arrived at Miletus. Paul had decided against stopping at Ephesus this time because he didn't want to spend further time in the province of Asia. He was hurrying to get Jerusalem, if possible, for festival of Pentecost. When we landed at Miletus, he sent a message on the elder of the church and Ephesus, asking them to come down to meet him. When they arrived, he declared, "You know that from the day I set foot on the province of Asia until now." I was very surprised because young men listen, but Paul's preaching is very continually, so he cannot stop. He's sleeping, and he fell down and died, but Paul led him alive. So like as Jesus Christ did his miraculous signs when he lived. So I was very surprised because Paul did what Jesus has done. Exactly same did. So I was very surprised and amazed.